Hey yo, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and Tim Burchett is just out here dropping nuke after nuke after nuke on Jim Acosta, and this dude just has to sit there and take it. This is brutal.
Do you think there should be a criminal investigation into Liz Cheney, one of your former colleagues?
Yes.
If she broke the law, why should she be exempt? If I guarantee if Manu Raju or you broke the law, they'd drag y'all into court in chains. And why should she be exempt?
You don't think Liz Cheney broke the law, do you?
If she manipulated this thing, if she met with people, if she coached them, as they're saying, if she talked to them on a secret website, which they're saying she did, if she coached them, if she altered evidence, if she withheld evidence, then she broke the law.
What's the evidence? What's the evidence of that? I mean, the report came out just days after Donald Trump said that Liz Cheney and other members of the committee should go to jail. Aren't they just doing his bidding?
What's the evidence that Matt Gaetz has other than a report? You've got a report. It's the same thing. That's why people do not trust the media. You have a double standard for one and not for the other. If she didn't break the law, then she's fine. But if she did break the law, she should be held accountable. What is wrong with them asking questions?
The House Ethics Committee is voting to release this report, presumably with some Republican help. This is a House Republican report on January 6th recommending that Liz Cheney be criminally investigated.
If she broke the law,
isn't this Banana Republic stuff?
Why is she being exempted from the law? Everybody who broke the law should be exempted. No, it's not Banana Republic. If she broke the law, I don't see why that's such a hard thing. If she didn't break the law,
there's no evidence she broke the
she's
law.
Fine.
There's no evidence she broke the law. They just looked into what happened on January 6th and Donald Trump's attempt to overturn a free and fair election.
Other than Barry Loudermilk, who's a very respected member of Congress, doing his very long investigation and very tiring investigation into this. And if they found it, I think it ought to be brought to light. If not, then she's fine. I don't have a problem with them investigating that.
You want the government to go after Trump's political enemies?
If they broke the law, I don't care if they're my political enemies or they're my friends. If they broke the law, dadgummit, they ought to be brought in and they ought to be brought to justice. There shouldn't be. That's what we talk about all the time. That's why Trump's in the White House, because there is two systems of justice in this country, and you can't have it both ways. You have got to. It's got to be straight and right down the middle. You can go back and watch all the tapes that the conservatives put out of the Democrats saying there's not two forms of justice, there's just one. Well, there is two forms of justice. The Biden White House, obviously, they're releasing criminals, they're releasing pedophiles, they're releasing Chinese communist spies, and at a record number, and nobody's paying attention. There is two systems of justice in this country, and I'm tired of them, and you should be either.
Congressman, I mean, you don't think that the January 6th committee should have investigated what took place at the Capitol on January 6th?
Well,
I know you don't believe that. I know you don't believe that.
If they investigate it, why didn't they call me in? I volunteered. I was the last person to leave the House floor, the last House member. Myself, Mark Wayne Mullen. Neither one of us was called in to see what we saw, to show what leadership. All they did was investigate the political wherewithal. It was a witch hunt from the start. That's why the final episode of that crazy thing, there was more people watching reruns of SpongeBob on the Cartoon Network than watching that clown show.
So is this about getting revenge? Is this about Trump getting revenge? And House Republicans going along with it?
It's about justice.
You're absolutely right, Tim. It is about justice. You know, I was having a good laugh there with a wonderful quip about people watching the reruns of SpongeBob, which, by the way, George W. Bush was right. SpongeBob does rot your brain. I got lucky. I didn't have cable when I was growing up, so I never got to watch the program. But yes, SpongeBob does rot the brain. And there were more people watching it than watching the January 6th witch hunt. But you want to know why? Because no one in their right minds looked at the riot at the Capitol building and went, yeah, we need to investigate this for 4 years. Because the average person, you and me, care more about our grocery bills. They care more about the offhand chance that they might have to reinstitute the draft and ship young men overseas to fight in a stupid war. Again. And seriously, when veterans are coming back from taking tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, and they're telling young people, hey, the military doesn't care about you, don't join, don't back this crazy government, we need something new, you might want to listen to them. Remember, when a veteran speaks, it behooves you to listen. And when Tim Burchett speaks, you better listen, because the dude is smart as a whip. Don't let the southern drawl fool you, because that man, that is the kind of person you want in Congress. That man has a bullwhip. He's going around and whipping people into shape like Jim Acosta here, because Jim Acosta, if you notice, if you go back and look at this footage, you'll notice Jim Acosta is doing this a lot. And then there was this one weird moment where he tries to take the moral high ground from Tim Burchett and goes, "Oh, Congressman." I can guarantee you that's when the producer is sitting in his earpiece and screaming at him, "Move him off the spot. Get him rattled. Do something. Discredit him." That's what the mainstream media will do to you if you go on air and you start talking about things that you aren't supposed to talk about. Like, for instance, how Barry Loudermilk is now looking into Liz Cheney, who by definition is probably guilty. What's important, however, is Liz Cheney, famous Trump detractor, someone who has Trump derangement syndrome so bad that she and her father are now prized Republicans on the left. I am young enough to remember, I remember both SpongeBob and remember a time when Dick Cheney and his family were public enemy number one to leftists. And now the media is fawning all over them because Liz Cheney stood up to the evil orange man and, let's see, checks notes, tampered with witnesses. Okay, it's likely that she has done so. Now, again, innocent till proven guilty. That's an amazing thing about our court system. But, yeah, Barry Loudermilk, which, by the way, shout out, he's actually my former congressman. We got redistricted. Now my family is under the jurisdiction of Marjorie Taylor Greene, so that's interesting. But Barry Loudermilk, I do know this guy. He has been a fantastic representative for the area of North Georgia. He is a longtime legislator who has a fantastic record, and now he's looking into Liz Cheney, and I cannot wait to see what he finds. This man does good work. As a matter of fact, during when Paul Ryan became Speaker of the House, I think this guy was third in voting. So there's a good chance that Barry Loudermilk might be the new Speaker of the House. And considering how Mike Johnson is not exactly a lauded figure on the right anymore, considering the new spending bill. But again, that's neither here nor there. The important thing is Tim Burchett is out here trying to speak truth to CNN, and Jim Acosta, who there are some journalists out there who actually know what they're talking about. They're just lying to you on purpose because it's the grift. They know where the gravy train is. They know which side their bread is buttered. But Jim Acosta, this dude, I think, is a legitimate moron. And I don't say that to insult him. I don't think he's a smart person. Because you could see him just squinting and wondering, this is new information to me. What is this Tim Burchett talking about? This dude is dyed in the wool and so far mentally gone that, bless his heart, when you bring him new information, he doesn't know how to process it. So yeah, this is literally the allegory of the cave here, and the dude is still being entertained by the shadows and the puppets on the wall. By the way, if you get that reference, you're awesome. But Tim Burchett here, yeah, trying to speak truth to power and doing a segment on CNN in one of the congressional buildings, that's a tall order because those congressional buildings are open to the public. Anyone can show up and just wreck your film stream going on. But you know what? Tim Burchett's a real one. He's one of the best warriors we have in the Congress right now. And I'm talking about the lower house. I'm a big fan, as y'all probably already know, of multiple other senators. But when it comes to the House, yeah, Tim Burchett's a real one. And it's not just because he and I have a Southern lineage and a Southern drawl. This dude knows what he's talking about. And so what's really happening is not that Trump is getting revenge. No, when a Republican is talking about justice, a Republican merely means justice. We have not seen that in the United States in a while. There's been two sets of rules. Rules for Democrats and rules for Republicans. The rules for Democrats, no one ever throws the book at them. It's time to start having an even playing field in our justice system, and now we're starting to look into some major improprieties. And Liz Cheney, ironically enough, sort of like the O.J. Simpson trial, because we only half joke about her father committing war crimes. Well, maybe we're getting back at the family. Although I do believe that the sins of the father should not be passed on to the son. But Liz Cheney is doing a real good job of seeing that improprieties sort of carry on the family business, if you know. But anyways, let me know what you think about Liz Cheney down in the comments, because I've talked about her enough. Let me know what you think about Tim Burchett, and I hope to see y'all soon. And from here on Politibrawl, y'all have a good one.